Skip happens. It's telling me that you're now live.
Yeah.
I needed
now
somebody.
live.
I needed somebody to tell me that here tonight. Hello, Deb Lamphere, the president and founder of the official Country Music Club. How are you this evening?
I'm very good. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm Skip Clark. And of course, the host of Skip Happens and also the program director at the Wolf here in Syracuse. And this young lady has been with us before. So excited to have her back. And we got some really big news coming up. And her name is Victoria Rose. Victoria, how are you?
I'm great. How are you guys?
Oh, we're doing wonderful. Thank you for coming back. I know you and Deb did some sort of an event in Nashville, and you were a big part of that. So.
Yes, I had a lot of fun that night.
And she rocked the house, let me tell you. She absolutely rocked. So, tell us a little bit of your performance there.
Yeah, so I did an all original set with a full band, and that was actually my first time I ever did a full original set. And so it was definitely nerve-wracking a little bit, but also not, because it kind of felt, since it was my own songs, if I messed up, I could just come up with something and no one would know. But yes, I did like all of my songs I've released in the past, and then songs that are coming out off my EP, and another song that's coming out soon. So I did like 10 songs in total, and it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that night.
Have you played with these guys before?
That was my first time. Well,
all the way around.
My producer came up with us, so he played lead guitar. And so I've always played with him, but the bass and drummer was my first time playing with him.
And it all went well.
Yeah, it actually went really well.
That's cool.
And it was her first time playing in Nashville.
Yeah.
Which made it even more exciting because there were all sorts of awesome people there, and she brought her talents to the community, and she just showed them what she had, and we had a ball. We had an absolute ball. And every song, and my eyes was perfect, and my ears was perfect. So if you did mess anything up, you could have fooled us.
Noticed. Deb left me home though. So, I mean, I couldn't catch it, but I've heard a lot about it, and I heard it was just a great performance out of you. However, you made a trip to Nashville, so you're not in Nashville. And just kind of refresh everybody, where do you actually live? Where are you?
So I live in Orlando, Florida,
where it's hot.
Yeah, where it's hot and it rains 24/7.
And you were telling us off the air that it's been raining for like the last 4 days.
Yeah, it won't rain, it will rain off and on, but it will pour for hours, and it'll just stop for 10 minutes, and then it'll start pouring again. And then by the night, right now, it stopped raining, but it's just humid and wet, so it's not enjoyable at all.
No. Stay in the house, stay in the AC.
AC.
And stay on with us.
Yeah.
So right here. No, that's good. Now you actually live part of the Disney World property. Is that correct?
Yes. Yeah.
And have they reopened Disney World? Well, they have, I believe. That's reopened, and now all the guidelines and all that have been dropped.
Yeah, they just lifted the mask mandate, I think yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, the whole mask thing is done?
Yeah, I think you don't have to wear a mask on transportation, but we went today, and there was I didn't have to wear a mask anywhere.
Oh, yay, because we're going down the end of July. The end of July. So actually, I'll have to find out if you're performing anywhere too when we come down, just in case you are. But that's good to know. We won't have to bring our masks. Of course, the parks will be probably wicked crowded when we go, and we'll have to wait online for 2 hours.
I think you should take your mask just in case. Put it in your purse or in a suitcase or something like that. Then you'll have it just in case.
I even took mine just in case today. I just put it on my lanyard. I didn't wear it at all, but I took it.
You have Victoria Rose music face mask?
No, I just have the plain black paper masks. That's all I wear.
Everybody, the whole mask thing, I should have bought stock in the company if we had only known. But you have your own mask. A lot of people, a lot of artists, a lot of different companies put all their logos on the mask and everything. So yeah, it's kind of a way of life now, I guess. I guess you will have to have it with you. You may not wear it, but just be careful. Can you actually just go into Disney World at any time?
Yes, that is a perk that comes with it.
I want to live there.
Although we'd probably be there all the time. I'd never want to work. I'd want to always be playing.
That's what happened when we first moved down here. We were always going. And like it kind of sucked because since we went so many times, it lost the magic for a little bit.
Yeah,
So we did take like a good break. And now we I think usually we go like maybe like every other week, sometimes more if we have like friends and stuff, but we definitely have slowed down than what we first did when we first moved down here.
Have you ever performed there? I don't know if I asked you that before.
Well, so technically, I never performed at the parks before, like the actual amusement parks, but I did get to do an event with Ashley Eckstein, who plays Ahsoka Tano on Star Wars. I did an event with her, and so she did a whole presentation at Disney Springs at one of the AMC theaters, and she asked me to sing "When You Wish Upon a Star," so I actually got to do that.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, it was really cool.
I was going to say that's a moment that you'll always remember.
Yeah,
it's one of those memories.
Yeah, and it was crazy because I'm a huge Star Wars fan, so I was very ecstatic when she asked me.
And how old were you when you did that?
That was actually only a couple months ago, so 16 still.
Oh,
yeah.
I was thinking it was when you were a little bit younger for some reason. So
no.
Oh, very nice.
You said you're a huge Star Wars fan. Like how big?
Like, okay, so when I say like I'm a big fan of something, I'm not like one of those people that get like a whole bunch of like fan stuff and like art things, like a whole collection. I just like love watching them. Like I will rewatch the movies hundreds of times and like never get sick of them. Like my friend and I will always watch them. We make sure we always see them in the theater when they come out. And like the same thing with like Marvel movies. Like I love Marvel movies also. Like they're like those were like my favorite like series of movies.
Maybe this is a crazy question, but do you have Disney Plus? All because
yes.
Did you even have to ask that?
Well, you get the Marvel, you get the Star Wars, you get all that with Disney Plus. So but I imagine, I mean, you're on the property there, so yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, my kids live for that stuff. There's Star Wars and Marvel, and I don't even understand half of it. There's like what eight episodes of Star Wars, and they're all out of order, but somehow you know what's going on.
Are there 8? How many episodes?
I don't know. There's a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot.
And are you, Victoria? Are you like the person that would be at the theater at midnight to catch the showing if they did it? Well, let's see. We probably haven't done that because of the pandemic, but.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not like that crazy. I just want to see the movie when it comes out. I don't think I could stay up that late and like not fall asleep towards the end because I can't stay up super late. I'll like pass out instantly. So I've never done that.
Hey, now listen, as you get into performing, you're going to have to start shifting your sleep modes because you're night shift.
Yeah.
So
but that's where I run into problems when I do late performances because I get so much adrenaline. Like I'll be like kind of tired, not like tired, but just not like super energetic before the performance. But then like afterwards, I will be so energetic that I won't fall asleep for hours.
And that's where you're driving your parents crazy.
Yeah.
Well, you're all wound up. I get it. I totally get it. But we've got some pretty big news. I know you've been working on some projects and being only 16 and you're at this point in your career is pretty darn awesome because you're ready to drop your EP.
Yes. Yeah.
Tell us about it.
Yeah, so so what seems to happen when I write songs is like I write them, I'll write like a couple in a week and so they'll come out like really fast. And like when I would show, like I'll write them and like I'll show them to my team and like we'll all work on it together. And the original plan was to release them as singles throughout the rest of the year. And then we talked about it more. We're like, well, we have enough songs for an EP. Like this could be a really cool EP because we have such great songs on them. So we decided to do that, and there's 5 songs on the EP, and it's self-titled called Victoria Rose. And there's 5 songs. They're all very different, which is what I love about it because none of them are the same like at all, and they all have a different vibe. Like the first one, Confused. I remember writing that one, and it was originally I wrote it as a slow song, and then I'm like, well, what have I put on the guitar? And it came up with this really like upbeat song. And we just like, I remember like being in like production with my producer and he put all these cool guitar things in it. And it's just, I don't know how to describe it. It's just a really cool song. And there's other songs where it's kind of more of like a retro vibe. One that's kind of more of like a Southern rock kind of vibe. And so they're all completely different. And so, yeah, so that comes out this Saturday, June 19th. And I'm really excited.
And we're having a big party, right?
Yes, I'm having a big party.
And of course, that's like, I guess if we want to go, Deb, it's going to be like a 23-hour drive.
Yes,
But,
it is. But so our viewers know, in case anybody's in Florida, I think it's at a Tin Roof
Yes,
venue.
Tin Roof Orlando in the green room from 6 to 9 p.m.
Okay, so we'll be sure to spread the word. So
absolutely. When you talk about we, are you just talking about your producer and you, or are there more?
So it's me, my producer, and then my manager also helps write songs too. So it's the three of us. We all work together.
Mm-hmm. And how did you actually get a producer and a manager? You're only 16, but how did all that come to play?
Yeah, so when I first moved to Florida, I was in a music conservatory program at my school, and one of the girls I became friends with was working with this artist development company, which is also what they do. And so she's like, oh, because I really wanted to get into music and start releasing my own music. She goes like, go talk with them. You're gonna love them. And so I went to talk with them, and originally it did just start off with like artist development, like doing some guitar lessons, vocal lessons, just writing songs on the side. But then when I started getting more serious, like Mike Walker, my producer, like he produces all of my songs, and I didn't know he was a producer at first. And but then we started like I want to release a song, and so he just became my producer. And then Caroline Walker, his wife, has managed people before, and then she became my day-to-day manager, and that's
wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
It all just kind of falls into place.
Yeah.
I feel like from when we spoke to you last, and then seeing you perform last month, and then to where you are now, I feel like you have grown 100 times from where you were maybe a year ago. Do you feel different? Do you feel more mature in what you're doing?
I definitely feel much different, because I remember last year when it was quarantine and you could not go anywhere, I did driveway concerts in my neighborhood. And I remember like it was probably like my first, like I've done like talent shows and musicals in school and stuff, but like it was like my first like thing by myself. And it was definitely scary. And like I got like a memory like on my camera roll of videos from it, and I couldn't watch it because I was embarrassed of myself. And I was like, why did I do this? And I was like, but now like looking at like myself now, like I definitely still think like there's obviously always room to grow, but I've definitely matured as an artist and like as a performer since last year.
You're much more comfortable now, I think, in your skin, being on
definitely.
stage, your movements, your interaction with the audience, by the way, was fantastic. I mean, a lot of times when people are first getting out there and, just getting to know what they're doing, they love what they're doing. But when you're interacting with the audience and you're getting them engaged, you did fantastic. You did great. So.
Do you think you'd be heading back to Nashville again pretty soon?
Yeah, we've actually been talking about it, and we're hoping to get up there in the fall, early fall.
Okay.
Your parents are thinking about moving there, I thought, or are you guys going to wait on that?
We are talking about it, and we definitely think it'd be a smart move. It's just we're having a hard time finding a house.
Oh my God.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally get that. But doing what you're doing, and you've got the support of mom and dad, that you'd be able to make that move and actually maybe even take your career to the next level a little bit faster by being there.
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
Well, she's got a great team behind her, so.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
Piece of cake there. So
there's no doubt. It's crazy.
So, I was listening to your songs again on Spotify, actually, like over and over and over, and I have a couple of favorite songs. So you're saying your EP that's coming out, I think you're saying is totally different from what you've done before. So did you do that on purpose, or did these just come naturally to you and they just happen to come out as a Southern rock song or as a retro vibe?
It kind of happens naturally, because I was talking about this with my manager, and we were talking about how, because I love like every genre of music. Like if I would show you my playlist, it's like it could go from musicals to country to old country to rap to rock. Like it's a little bit of everything, because I just love like every genre. So I think it's just like, since I listen to different types of music, I kind of just incorporate that into everything and into all of my own music. And I just like, when we were like, the one that's more like a retro kind of feel me and my team, we all like wrote together, and like I kind of came to them with the idea, and I had like a melody for it, but like I didn't know what it was gonna sound like. But like once we put it together, like wow, this is cool because it's different. It's more of like a retro kind of vibe, and so yeah.
I sit there and think about you're 16 and you're writing songs, and you have adults working with you that have to look at you as not really a 16-year-old in a way, because they're like our age, you know, right? So it's like, wow, how do you interact with them on a different level for you all to come together? Do you ever have any differences of opinion on how that music's going to come out? We lost her.
We lost her. You know, this is great though. I'm sure she'll be back, and I'm loving the questions that you're asking. And you experienced that live show in Nashville, you and your company, and you put all that together. Here she comes.
There she goes.
She didn't want to talk to us anymore. I think
I have no idea what happened. All of a sudden the camera just went down and I was really confused.
Hang on, I'm going to move people around. Hang on, Deb, because you know what? We're just going to move this, going to put that over there, and then I'm going to put you up here. And where's Deb? There's Deb.
There's Deb.
Hang on. What am I doing? Oh, I got to.
Let's see. There we are. Every once in a while.
Yep. Okay, here we go. And there we go. And we go like this, and we're right back to where we were. Good. Sorry.
Anything goes.
It's like musical pictures. I just like this format. That's all. So I mean, we could have left it the other way, but I like this format. So.
No, this looks great. So, So yeah, just in general, how comfortable are you working with people that are so much older than you, and with your experiences and getting your points across to music?
Yeah, so Mike and Caroline, now I'm very comfortable with them. I mean, I'm a very shy person, and like I'm just like one of those people where like I may have like a different opinion, and like I just don't want to say anything because I'm like, well, what if they don't like it? Like I get like very caught up in that. But once I get comfortable with people, it's very easy to work with them. Like when I work with Mike and Caroline, it's like no one has hard feelings. Like if you don't like it, we're like, okay, we'll figure out something better that fits in the song. And like there's never any hard feelings with anything. There's never like big arguments about anything. We like take everyone's thoughts like into everything. And so I mean, I've really only worked with them with like my songs before. I haven't like worked with any like other adults with my music, but being comfortable with them, it's very easy to write songs and everything.
It's very important.
Yeah. Do you think you would rather be well, you're performing, you're singing, but there's also that other side is the songwriting. I mean, do you feel you're more creative being on stage and being a vocalist as opposed to songwriting, or would you rather want to sit and maybe be that person that's writing great songs, self a publishing deal?
Yeah, so that's the thing. It's kind of like weird with me because I enjoy, like I love writing songs. Like I feel like that's like one of like my strong suits is writing songs. And then performing, I love performing, but I get very like nervous about doing it sometimes. Like I don't think I would just want to do one thing. I mean, I think we've talked about like my backup plans before. Like one of my backup plans is, okay, I'll just be a songwriter.
Right.
But then I'm also like, I want to perform and like show people like what I can do with my voice live and everything like that. But like moving around the stage is definitely sometimes very difficult for me. But I would definitely like want to do like all of them. Like I don't think I could really just do one thing.
Right. You know what? We're finding out, and we talk to a lot of songwriters that they sit and they write, and it's something they've been doing for years, and they've got their name on a lot of big songs, but eventually they want to be their own artist. They you know, enough of that. I'm going to go and do my own thing. And one artist that comes to mind, his name is Drew Jackson. Great song, just hit radio. And that's the story behind that. He's been writing. He's written for Luke Combs. He's written for Jake Owen, some of the biggies. And now he's like, you know, I need to be my own artist. I want to be my own artist. I'm going to give it a shot. He's awesome. And look at Hardy. Hardy, you know, great songwriter, but now he's doing his own thing. So, you know, it's pretty cool. So I guess, I don't know. I don't know where you could draw the line or how you would actually make that work, or if you could still do both. And, you know, you're just, like you say, you're only in, I know, exactly. You're only in your teens. And
I know she's got a long way to go.
Man,
So
should be proud of that.
Actually, have you thought about, not now obviously, but have you thought maybe in the future you might want to write songs and pitch them to other artists?
Yeah, I've even thought about that, like now, like we've talked about it with like my producer, and we've talked about like, oh, like if you write a song and it's just like it's like you like it but it doesn't fit your vibe, like we can always try to go pitch it to some company or some artist. And so it's always like in the back of my mind, but I always get attached to my songs and like I don't want to give them up. But I feel like definitely in the future, like once I can really hopefully do this like full time, and this is like my like job and like my career path, like I would love to like write songs for other people too.
Mm-hmm. Where do you come up with your ideas? I mean, the reason I'm saying that when you're songwriting, you've got to have some sort of life experience to put on paper or different things like that. You are 16. I know we've talked about this before, but so
Yeah.
tell us about your creative process and how you come up with these ideas for your songs.
Yeah, so people kind of they find it weird sometimes because like I'll talk about my songs and most of them are not from personal experience at all.
Mhm.
But what I usually do is like I take it whether like some songs like a situation might happen to me, but like there was nothing that really stemmed out of it to write a song. So like I'll take the situation, but then I'll like just add more details to it. So it's like I experienced it, but I didn't. And like I also look at like what did my friends go through something, or I watch someone else go through something, or sometimes I take situations from like a TV show or a movie, and like also I'll just like think of something. Like I have a note in my phone that has a whole bunch of like song topics, whether it's like just a line I could use, a topic overall, or like a title of a song I want it to be. And sometimes I don't think I've ever actually used the topics from my notes because I can't, but I have to like get inspired like instantly. And like if it doesn't come to me naturally, I have a really hard time writing the song. And like we talk about it, like my mom and I joke around about it because I'll write a song and like my mom will ask me like, oh, what were you doing? I'm like, oh, I wrote a song but I hated it. And I'm like, because we know if it didn't, and if it took me too long to write it, we know it's not a good song. Because most of the songs I'll write in like 30 minutes, but like I'll go back and like redo some stuff. But like in general, I'll write it in 30 minutes. And usually if I have to write it over a long period of time, it's not a good song, and I know I won't like it.
Mm-hmm.
And that
just blows my mind how you could just pop out a song in 30, 45 minutes. And like, I can't even get my thoughts out sometimes. And here you're, pouring your heart out in a half hour.
Yeah.
So that just amazes me.
It is amazing. It's amazing. And I was going to mention the movies and television and things like that you see pretty much in everyday life. You could be running to the store with your mom and see something and make that note in your phone and say, you know what? Or you may see a sign or something and that'll give you an idea and start that creative process. It's very, very good. Where do you see yourself in 5 years from now?
Well, I would love to just be performing all over and releasing more songs. And I mean, in 5 years, I'll be out of high school. I'll be out of high school very soon, so I won't have to deal with school anymore. And I would just want to just be performing all over.
Did we talk about this before? I can't remember on the last time. Did we talk about were you going to try to go to college on a part-time basis, or were you going to hold off on that and focus on the career first?
So my plan right now is not going to college as of right now. But if for some reason my career doesn't take off like how I would want it to soon, then I would go to college. So like I'm still taking like a whole bunch of like good classes, like just in case I do go to college. But I'm also trying to graduate early too. So
oh my gosh.
That's a lot of work. How do you do it?
I know.
I'm taking classes over the summer is how I'm also trying to graduate early.
Yeah. Wow.
You're homeschooled, right?
Yeah, well, so I'm technically like in a school, but I just do it virtually. But I might be technically switching to Florida virtual. We don't know yet, to take some extra classes just so I can earn the extra credits. But right now, like I'm doing everything from home.
So is that a new program, this Florida virtual, since COVID hit? So are they offering these? This is an additional option?
So I think they've had Florida Virtual for a long time because you can do it as like a full-time thing or like be homeschooled and do it. But also there's a way you can do it to where like with the school you're at, you can take extra classes to get extra credits, but still be registered with your school. It's kind of like a weird thing. Yeah.
It's interesting.
We don't have anything like that.
Nope.
I guess our New York kids probably wouldn't do what they're supposed to be doing.
Probably not. Probably not. I never did.
Yeah.
That's crazy. This is amazing. You just amaze us. And, with your talent and how young you are. And, after when Deb came back from Nashville and was just saying how you kicked ass on that stage, it was just amazing. She said the energy and it's just like you've been doing it forever. And it was your first time doing that. So, and do you get, when you step on stage though, you always get that little bit of nervousness? I think we do. Even as long as I've been doing radio and I go and do these shows, we do the presents for some of these big shows, you still get those jitters in the beginning. It's like, okay, I can do this. I know I can do this. But once you get out there and you open your mouth and you start talking into that microphone, at least with me, then after our first few words, it's like, all right, this is good. This is good. I got this. And you relax.
Talk about jitters. Tell our audience what happened to you, I think the day or two before you were ready to perform.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
So I'm allergic to a good amount of bugs, and being in Florida is not a good thing for that. Right. And so like usually what will happen is like I'll get bit like by a mosquito or like a yellow fly, and like it will swell up, but like it will go down in like 2 days. And all of a sudden it was like, I think the performance was on a Saturday, and Wednesday I don't know, I'm trying to think of the timeline. I got bit on my foot. And then Wednesday morning I had a photo shoot and my foot was swelling up, and I was like, okay, this is normal, whatever. I'll go to my photo shoot. And then I had tight boots on in Florida humidity for like hours, and I get home and I tell my dad, like, Dad, I can't walk. Like my foot was so swollen that I couldn't walk and it hurt so bad. And so then I got put on medication to help the swelling. And my doctor's like, we think it's like whatever bit you was carrying bacteria and infected it. And so then Friday we fly up, and I basically was like not wearing a shoe because like if you put a stocking shoe on, it's just gonna swell back up again. And so I was like wearing flip-flops, and like my foot was fine. Like, hey, it's gonna be fine. I'm gonna be fine for the performance. And then I put a shoe on for 20 minutes. And I come back to the hotel room and my foot is swollen again. And so basically all day before the performance, I iced my foot. I was putting like this cream on it that I had to. And then like the morning before, I was icing it even more. And then I remember we were sitting like in the green room downstairs, and like I had my foot elevated with my shoe off, and I was like, and then I put my boots on, and I can just tell that my one foot's more swollen than the other because it just seems so much tighter. And then basically, but I had so much adrenaline for the performance that once I was on stage, I wasn't thinking about it. But then I got off stage and my foot was swollen again. So
you probably couldn't wait to get those boots off afterwards. When you start thinking about it on stage, you just do what you have to do and you don't think about it. But afterwards, it's like, oh my God.
Yeah. It felt good to get the boot off my foot.
Gosh. That was good for when you're bigger and you're up someone thing and something wrong.
Deb, you froze up. Deb, you froze up.
Can you hear me?
I hear a little bit.
I can hear a little bit.
You're like going in and out. You sound like you're on Star Wars. You're on some planet. You're in Star Wars, one of the movies.
Out and come back in again.
All right, you go out and come back in. I'll have a conversation with Victoria. It's cool. How often, Victoria, do you get out and play now? Are you playing around Orlando at all?
So I'm starting to now. It was definitely difficult because there weren't a lot of places open, and in Florida there was like you couldn't have live performances and everything like that. But I actually just performed, I think it was like a week and a half, 2 weeks ago at Rock and Ranch in Ormond Beach, which was a lot of fun. I opened for Diamond Dixie.
Oh wow.
And now like I have a performance. It's actually most performances are actually not in Orlando. They're like a good while away. So I'm going to perform at St. Augustine in July. I think I'm going back to Rock and Ranch. I can't even remember what else, but I'm definitely getting out there more.
Now, are you able to play in some of the, I guess, like the bars or the honky tonks in Orlando? Can you get out and do that, or no, because of your age?
It depends, because some of them have different rules that you have to be 18, but others are like, well, if you have a parent or guardian with you, you're technically allowed to play. So it really depends on like the bar's rules.
I see a little comment. Michelle says it was a great performance at Rockin' Ranch.
Yeah, that's my aunt.
Oh, I love it. And Brooke is checking in and saying how she loves how relatable your songs are. And we've got Vicky on there as well. So just must be some friends checking in, and they keep track of you, don't they?
Yeah.
Which is a good thing. You got to start somewhere, though. You got a great team behind you all the way around. All the way around. I'm waiting to see if Deb pops up here, but I don't think I don't know what's going on. I don't know. It must be her internet. Uh-oh, now what happened? Hang on. Just stand by. I'll do this. There we go. There we go. But anyways, so this is great. So we got the EP that's going to drop. What's the date on that again?
June 19th.
June 19th. And if somebody wants to hear the music or they want to pick up the EP, can they go to your website?
Yes, everything will be on my website. We put everything up there.
Okay, and it's Victoria Rose Music. I have it right on the screen there, so anybody watching this at any time can go on there and get the music. What else would they find on the website?
They can find my future performances. They can find all of my social medias on there, and all of my other past releases are all on my website too.
Social media. What's your social media of choice?
Probably Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we were kind of talking earlier. Snapchat's pretty much not really, but it's there.
It's there. I know a lot of like influencers used to use it like years ago, but now a lot of people just use it just like to talk with their friends and everything. Right. And just, I don't use it that often because I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of, I try to stay off my phone as much as possible, really. But having to do social media doesn't help that.
That's different to hear from a 16-year-old. Usually it's just the opposite. You're very grown up. You're very mature, and you're doing the right thing. You do a lot. Any TikTok?
I have TikTok. I struggle with doing TikTok because TikTok is their algorithm is very weird. It's like it's just, you have to hop on the trends instantly, or you don't really you don't really get a lot of views with that. And you also have to be very consistent, which is my problem, where you have to post like 5 videos a day. And I'm like, that is a lot. And like, I'll find trends and like, I'll save them, but then I'll forget to do it. And so like, I have videos posted on there. It's like, Instagram seems a lot easier to me.
It's awesome. We look forward to seeing you down the road. I know I can't wait to meet you in person. Deb has already done that and put on that great event and worked that event with you. But you are just so talented. And for you to take the time to come back on with Deb and I here tonight, Deb, can you hear me? We don't hear her, though. But hang on just 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. I'm going to try something different here. Hang on, Deb. Now I'll bring her back up and see if she comes on. If not, we're gonna. Nope, can't hear. Deb sounds good tonight. She's gonna kill me. But Victoria, you are awesome. Thank you so much for joining us here tonight. Deb, we're pretty good, right?
For having me.
Yes. Anytime you need to come back on, we want to talk about your music. We want to help you promote your music. Of course, Brooke says I pre-ordered my copy today. Willie, what's your favorite song on the EP?
Oh, my favorite song is called Say Her Name, which is the more southern rock kind of vibe to it. It was the last song that we wrote to go on the EP. And there's a lot of belting in it, which is probably why it's my favorite. But I just love the vibe of the song.
When you say belting, what is that? You just getting loud?
Basically, yeah. It's probably the simplest way to say it, because it's like you have different voices when you're singing. Like you have your chest voice, your head voice, and your mix, which is like a mix of both. And then your belting is like you carry up your chest voice to like a really high note, which seems to be my specialty, which is most of my songs or like live performances, I belt a lot. Yeah.
Wow. But that's good. That's belting it out. So when somebody says she's belting it out, she's bringing it out. And, you know, your chest voice, you said, right? And then you have your head voice. And then, of course, I'm sure you with the vocal training that you've had, or they tell you about your diaphragm and all that, how to get it out there. So what, you know, maybe Deb's going to pop back in. Maybe she won't. I think she will. Real quickly, though, somebody your age, what advice could you give them?
Oh, that's a good question.
You know, you seem to have done so much so early and you're off and running. What advice, you know, could you give somebody that's listening or will be watching this?
I would tell them honestly, the way I've gotten this far was to really honestly not care about anyone else and really focusing on yourself. Like there's been so many times where people have wanted to like try to drag me down and say, you're not good enough. You're never going to make it. Why are you releasing this? You can't sing. And I ignored it all. And I did what I wanted to do. And that's probably how I got here today, was really just really focusing on yourself. That's what I would tell them, is to focus on yourself.
Deb, can you hear me, Deb?
Can you hear me?
Oh,
I can hear you.
Yes, we got you now.
Yay.
A little bit of it.
Gosh.
It's all right.
Wonderful internet.
Yeah, well, it happens. You know, I'm not having a problem.
Skip happens.
We're all good.
Stuff
Victoria's
happens.
good. I know skip happens. It's what it's all about. I was just getting ready to wrap it up and say thank you for joining us tonight. We look forward to hearing your EP in its entirety. We want our viewers and listeners to check out your website. We want them to keep an ear out for your music because it's going to be hitting the radio. And how exciting is that? It's just it's amazing. It's amazing. Yeah. If there's I don't well, go ahead, Deb.
I was just going to ask quickly if you had any plans. You may have discussed this in my absence here, but if you had any plans to do any kind of mini tour, or if you were going to be performing anywhere outside of Orlando.
So we don't really have like a mini tour right now. We're just starting to like book up some gigs, but I'm doing, like I was telling Skip, I have a performance in St. Augustine. I have one back at Rockin' Ranch at Ormond Beach. And then I can't remember the rest of it. But for the most part, will be in Florida. Hopefully coming up to Nashville performing soon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
That's so
Skip,
awesome.
Sorry.
Nope.
Had to get caught up.
Oh, there she goes. Bye, Deb. All right. You know, Victoria, you've been awesome. And thank you so much for joining us here on Skip Happens tonight. We're going to sign off, but just hang on for a second. We'll talk without the microphone on. But, you know, officially, God bless you. Keep doing the great job. You're very, very well established already. You've got the great team behind you. I expect to be playing your music on the radio in the near future. So you're off and running, and hopefully you find a place in Nashville, and let's take it to the next level because you can do it. Yeah.
Thank you so much for having me.
Well, thank you for being a part of Skip Happens. And we're just going to log off and have a good night.